Hey everyone, it's Mel. Welcome back or welcome. Today I am planting an Autumn Joy Sedum. I have the sedum since last fall, wintering over on my patio. And I thought, hey, if it can survive in a pot in my conditions, then this is going to be a great plant. And I always wanted to have an Autumn Joy Sedum because their blooms, oh my gosh, pink, beautiful, big pink blooms. And it's not that I couldn't find it. They're not, that unique. It's just that I never got around to it. And so when I finally found one in my local, I think it was one of the big box stores that I got it from last fall, the end of last fall, I was so excited. And also really happy because it was 50% off. That's right, 50% off. So I think it ended up being like around $12. But anyway, I still have the tags on the pot. So here I'm just testing out to see if I actually like it in the spot where I think I want it to go. So I put it in there. I'm stepping back, looking over it, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good there. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm planting it next to my vanilla strawberry hydrangea. And so sort of between the hydrangea and to my right is a knockout rose. Actually, I have 3 knockout roses over there, double knockouts, because Autumn Joy Sedum blooms in mid to late summer. By that time, my roses may be a bit petered out, maybe a little tired, looking a little drab. And so I want to have something there that's going to give me a little va-va-voom, like a little sparkle when the roses are starting to look a little, how roses get in late summer. So I'm going to plant it there. And also, I just really need to plant more things in this bed, period. I have too much exposed soil, which is really giving the roots like their best life. They're like, ooh, look at all the space we can grow into. So anyway, I'm just digging the hole now. You want to dig the hole about as deep as a plant and twice as wide. And I'm being a bit careful here because the roots to my vanilla strawberry hydrangea is directly in the path, of course, right where I want to plant the sedum. And I sort of broke off my roots to my hydrangea just a bit, but they should be. Hydrangeas are so dang tough. It should be totally fine. So just a few stats about the Autumn Joy Sedum. Like I said, they bloom mid to late summer, and their blooms start off with a really pretty light pink color, but then as the summer progresses, the blooms turn a bit deeper pink. Looks really pretty. And you can grow it from zones 3 to 9, which is awesome. I'm in zone 7B, so perfect for me. And I wasn't really too worried about it wintering over on my patio because it goes all the way down to zone 3. So I felt pretty safe. And this plant will get roughly 2 feet wide, 2 feet tall, which is perfect for this area that it's in because I don't really want it to compete too much with the vanilla strawberry hydrangea or with that rose that I have here that I'm carefully walking around. So it's like the perfect plant and the perfect height in that area. And here I'm just testing to see if I got the hole deep enough. Again, being super careful because my hydrangea roots are there in the way. So I just need to test it out to make sure that the hole is deep enough, but not too deep. And I have my handy dandy biotone starter fertilizer, which I use for every new thing that I'm planting. Even if I'm transplanting, I will still use the biotone starter fertilizer, just to give those roots a really good start at rooting in. And it's at the beginning of the season. It's spring, so the plants really do have sufficient time to get rooted in, but you still want to give them a really good strong start so that you have a healthy plant. And so sedums in general don't like a ton of water, but when you're just planting a sedum, when it's brand new and it's getting established, you do want to keep it consistently watered, but you don't want to overwater it, obviously, because then you get root rot. So just have a consistent water schedule with your sedum, at least until it becomes established in your garden. Okay, this hole is looking like I need to dig it out a wee bit more, which is what I'm doing here. And instead of using the shovel, I'm now using my hand because being careful for my hydrangea roots. Okay, so there, looks like we got it in quite nicely. We just want to make sure that it's not too deep. I do like to keep my plants planted a bit higher than the soil level, the ground level. So I'll leave about an inch, maybe sometimes 2 inches, about an inch, inch and a half exposed at the top, and to ensure that I don't have the plant in the hole too deep. And so now we're just going to backfill, which means we're going to take our native soil, put it back in the hole, and you just want to make sure that you tuck in as you're backfilling with your native soil, that you're tucking it in really deep around the newly potted plant, or the newly planted plant, because you want to make sure that there are no air pockets as you're going. So you see, you just want to go all around, all the sides, and then I just use my hands and I just tuck in the soil like, you know, like you're tucking in a bed sheet. Just get that all in there, get way deep down, and just push that soil in. Make sure it's nice and snug. Get the other side. Yeah, and then you should really be good to go. Again, these plants are drought tolerant, but when you're first planting anything really, you want to make sure that you get them watered in, because even though it's drought tolerant, it's brand new, right? It's gonna have a little bit of shock when it's going into the ground. So we want to make sure that we take care of it the best we can, which is really one of the things I want to mention that's really cool about this plant, and especially considering if you have a lot of area, ground area to cover, this is going to be really helpful, because this type of plant, I'm so excited about my 50% off. I still have the tag on the pot. Woohoo, 50% off. It's so funny. I was so excited about that. Sedum is a plant that you can divide in half. So once it becomes established, a year or 2, maybe 3 in the garden, okay, great, nice drink of water, you can actually dig it out, cut it in half, and now boom, you have 2. So plants like this just are really good for new gardeners, or anyone who's starting a new garden bed with a lot of area to cover. It's, you know, first of all, you got it 50% off, and then you split it in half. I mean, man, talk about saving. So when you have a lot of area to cover, that's a really good way to, you know, save money and to sort of expand your garden bed. Just want to make sure that water soaks in nicely. We want to get it around all of the sides of the plant. Just when I took it out of the pot, this plant was a little dry. And it may feel like initially, like, oh, this might be too much water. Like, it's gonna be waterlogged? Am I giving it too much water? No, you're not. Give it all of the water, because any new plant that's going in the ground, so it has, you know, that fertilizer, it was just sitting in a pot, a little bit dry. We haven't had rain in the past few days, so the ground is dry. So yeah, you want to make sure you water it in nicely. And here I'm just giving a little water to my baby, my hydrangea, because I mess with its roots a little bit too. So I feel bad. I want to give it a little something to drink as well. Make sure she's okay. Well, there you have it. So essentially, you want to dig your hole about as deep as the plant, maybe just leaving a little exposed at the top, about an inch. Backfill it with your native soil. Check that it's in a good area. And yeah, you're all set to go. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone, and take care.